Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Off Campus. Kindly subscribe our channel Off Campus and support us. In this video, we are going to see solve some problems on control system. Previously, we have discussed and solved many problems on control system. This is the continuation of our previous videos. If you are not watching those videos still, kindly check with the playlist. Let's start the video. The first question is, the poles of the second order system are at minus 3 plus or minus J4. The damping ratio of the system is. What is given? Poles of the second order system is given. We need to find out the damping ratio of the system. So, we see how to solve this problem. Generally, a transfer function has numerator term and denominator term. We know that numerator term denotes the location of zeros, whereas denominator term denotes the location of poles. Similarly, this is the pole location, so this will represent the denominator of the transfer function. So, in second order transfer function, in what is a standard second order transfer function is nothing but omega n divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n squared. So, some term in the numerator, we don't know what the term is, but in denominator the pole location only denotes the denominator part of the transfer function. So, how can we write this term? S plus 3 minus J4, similarly into 2 roots na, S plus S plus 3 plus J4. So, these are all the, because when we equating to 0, what we will get? S is equal to minus 3 plus or minus J4. So, this is the denominator term. So, denominator term represents the characteristic equation of the transfer function. By equating this term equal to 0 and equating to that standard second order transfer function, we need to find out the damping ratio value. We'll see how to find out. By what is the characteristic equation? I am writing here as in short CE S plus this term. See, this is A. S plus 3, take this term as A and 4 as B. This is in the form of A minus JB and A plus JB. What is A here? S plus 3. What is B? 4. So, A minus JB, A plus JB into A minus JB is nothing but A squared plus B squared. So, what is S plus 3? The whole squared plus 4 squared. B is nothing but 4 is equal to 0. By expanding this, what we will get? S squared plus 9 plus A square plus B square plus 2AB, 2 into 3, 6S plus 16 equal to 0. Then S square plus S square plus 6X plus 16 plus 9, 25 equal to 0. By equating this to standard second order transfer function, equating this to 2 zeta omega n is nothing but 6, whereas omega n squared equal to 25 and omega n equal to 5 radians per second. From this equation, what we will get? Omega n value as 5 radians per second. So, similarly 2 zeta omega n is equal to, what is here? S term 6. So, substitute 2 into zeta is equal to, I am writing here, zeta is equal to 6 divided by 2 into omega n. Omega n is nothing but 5. So, 6 by 10. 6 by 10. Zeta is equal to 6 by, zeta value is equal to 6 by 10. By comparing this option, okay, we can simplify further as divided by 2. 3 2s are 6. 5 2s are 10, nothing but 3 by 5. 3 by 5 is Option C, damping ratio 3/5 is the right option for this problem. Then move on to the next problem. The characteristic equation has the following roots for overdamped stable system. The characteristic equation which has the following roots for overdamped stable system. What is the characteristic equation roots? We need to find out the for open loops overdamped stable system. Out of these options, which one is the roots for overdamped stable system? Before going to that, we need to know some of that according to the damping factor and nature of closed loop poles, how the stability condition we will see the difference and how the location of poles for the different types of different damping system. We'll see what is damping factor, nature of closed loop poles, location of poles in S plane, step response. It is an input. In case of input, we'll see then for stability, how the stability will be. We'll see for zeta equal to 0. Zeta equal to 0, which means undamped or natural oscillation. For that zeta equal to 0, how the nature of closed loop poles should be S equal to plus or minus j omega n. It is purely imaginary for undamped system. Purely imaginary. So it is in the imaginary axis. Non-separated poles at imaginary axis. So how the stability will be? This is the step response of the system. How the stability will be? Marginally or critically stable. For zeta equal to 0, which is undamped system, the roots are purely imaginary. S equal to plus or minus j omega n. Stability condition will be marginally or critically stable. Then coming to the next condition, where zeta equal to 1, which represents critical damping. For critical damping, what is the nature of closed loop poles? S equal to minus omega n comma minus omega n. Repeated real roots equal roots. Repeated equal real roots. So same repeated real equal roots. If in case of if any transfer function having k divided by s plus 1 the whole squared means at s is equal to minus 1 comma minus 2 roots in the same location, that is real roots, repeated real equal roots. Then for this critical damping, zeta equal to 1, critical damping roots are real equal repeated roots. The system is absolutely stable. Next for under damping. What is under damping? When zeta is in between 0 to 1. How the location of closed loop poles? S is equal to minus sigma plus or minus j omega n, which means that complex conjugate roots. Minus sigma plus j omega n. This is the location of minus omega minus j omega n. How the system? Absolutely stable. For zeta value between 0 to 1, which means that under damped system, the location of roots will be complex conjugate roots and the stability should be absolutely stable. Next one is overdamping. Overdamping, which means that zeta value greater than 1 or 1 to infinity. Overdamping system, how the roots will be? S equal to plus omega n1 plus omega n2. See, real unequal positive roots. Real unequal positive roots for overdamping. The system is unstable. How the system? System is unstable. We will consolidate these roots here. Okay. For under damping, roots are imaginary. We should mug up these. For critical damping, roots are real and equal. For undamped roots are imaginary. Critically damped roots are real and equal. For underdamped roots are complex conjugate. For overdamped system, roots are real and unequal. Roots are real and unequal. So, from this option for overdamped stable system, how the roots will be, how the roots will be in the real unequal positive roots. So from this option, real unequal, real, this is equal, this is complex conjugate, this is also one negative, one positive, this is real unequal and positive roots. So option C is the right option for this problem. So we move on to the next problem. The transfer function of a LTI, linear time invariant system, is given as g of s equal to 10 divided by s squared plus 10s plus 10. The steady state value of the output of the system for input applied at time instant t is equal to 2 seconds will be. We need to find out the steady state value of the output of the system. See, for any transfer function, C of s divided by R of s, where, see, this is a transfer function, say it is g of s also. This is output, this is input. We need to find out the steady state value of the output. Steady state value of the output is nothing but final value. Final value theorem of Laplace transform, we know that limit s tends to 0, s into that output. Output is nothing but C of s. C of s. So, C of s, this is a transfer function, g of s is given. So, C of s, how to find out the C of s? Now, g of s into R of s. We know that g of s, what is R of s here? For step input. So, R of t is equal to u of, at time instant t equal to 2 seconds. 2 seconds time delay. So, R of t is nothing but u of t minus 2. So, by taking Laplace transform, e power for time delay, e power minus 2s divided by s. For in general, what is the Laplace transform? U of t is nothing but 1 by s. For the time delay, we need to, what is the Laplace transform? E power minus 2s divided by s. So this is the C of s term. We know the g of s term. Substitute these two and find out the final value. Limit s tends to 0, s into, what is C of s? C of s is nothing but g of s into R of s. G of s divided by s squared plus 10s plus 10 into, what is R of s? E power minus 2s divided by s. So, s and s get cancelled. S and s get cancelled. Substitute s equal to 0. This term will get cancelled. This term will get cancelled. 10 by 10. 10 by 10 into e power 0. Nothing but 1. 10 by 10. What we will get? 1 only. So, what is the steady state or final value of C of s is nothing but 1. Final value of steady state, because s and s get cancelled. When substitute s equal to 0, this term will get cancelled, this term cancelled. We will get 10 by 10 into e power minus 2s. When by substituting s equal to 0, e power 0 is nothing but 1. So 10 by 10 also 1. So the steady state value of the output of the system is nothing but option B, 1. We'll move on to the next problem. The error of a system to a ramp input is 1 by 5. If the type of the system is decreased by 1, then the error of unit step input is. Let's see how to solve this problem. What is given? The error of a ramp input system. What is the steady state error of a ramp input system? For a ramp input system, the steady state error is nothing but 1 by kV. So, what is 1 by kV? Steady state error is given as 1 by 5. Then what is given? If the type of the system is decreased by 1. This is for a ramp input. Steady state input for steady state error for ramp input. For ramp input, what is the type? Type 1. Type number is nothing but 1 for ramp input. What is given? Type of the system is decreased by 1, which means the type of the system is decreased by 1 means type becomes 0. Then the type 0 is nothing but what input? Step input. For type 0, what will be the input? Step input. So we need to find out then when it is decreased by 1, it becomes step input. We need to find out the steady state error for the step input. So what is the formula for steady state error? Is nothing but 1 divided by 1 plus Kp. So here what is Kv? Kv is nothing but 5. So when it is decreased by 1, Kv becomes Kp. Type of the system becomes steady state, type 0. For type 0, what is the error coefficient? Kp. So what is Kp now? Kp is nothing but 5. So 1 divided by 1 plus 5, 1 by 6 is nothing but around 0.167. So this is the steady state error for the unit step input ESS. So option B is the right answer. I am telling you again what is given. Steady state error for ramp input. What is the steady state error for ramp input? 1 by kV. What we find out then? kV is nothing but 1 by kV is given as 1 by 5. So kV is equal to 5. Then if the type of the system is decreased by 1. Decreased by 1 means type become type 0. That means coefficient, velocity error coefficient becomes position error coefficient. So Kp become 5. Then we need to find out the steady state error for the unit step input. What is the formula for steady state error for unit step input? Is nothing but ESS is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus Kp. So Kp become 5. So substitute 5 and we'll solve. We will get 0.167 as answer. We'll move on to the next problem. The closed loop transfer function of a unity feedback control system is 9 divided by s squared plus 3s plus 9. Then the type of the system is. What is given? The closed loop transfer function of unity feedback system. We need to find out the type of the system. Given as closed loop transfer function as 9 divided by s squared plus 3s plus 9. Generally we need to find out the type. Every transfer function will have certain type and order. So type is defined only for open loop transfer function. From the open loop transfer function only we need to we know the type of the system is based on the open loop transfer function, but it is given as closed loop transfer function. Closed loop transfer function in case of unity feedback. In case of unity feedback, one shortcut is there. We have already discussed also. What is the how to find out the closed loop transfer open loop transfer function from closed loop transfer function in case of unity feedback is nothing but just subtract the numerator term from the denominator term. What is numerator term? Minus 9. Just subtract the numerator term from the denominator term to find out the open loop transfer function from closed loop transfer function. In case of how to find out the closed loop transfer function or open loop from open loop transfer function is nothing but just add the numerator term to the denominator. Here we need only open loop transfer function. So this is the shortcut. In case of unity feedback, subtract the numerator term from the denominator term. So this and this get cancelled. So what we will get? Open loop transfer function 9 divided by s squared plus 3s. What is the type of the system? Type of the system is nothing but number of poles located at the origin. Number of poles located at the origin is known as the type of the system. In case of this is the open loop transfer function. So s equal to 0 and s equal to minus 1. These are the two pole location. How many poles located at the origin? Only one pole. So the type of the system is nothing but 1. Option D, 1 is the right answer for this problem. We'll move on to the next problem. What is given? The closed loop transfer function of a system is 25 divided by s square plus 25. The settling time of the system. We need to find out the settling time of the system. What is the formula for settling time is nothing but 4 divided by zeta into omega n. So this is the closed loop transfer function is given 20 divided by s square plus 25. By comparing this with standard second order transfer function, omega n divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n squared. So where is zeta? Just comparing the s term. See what is s term here in the denominator? No s term. So 2 zeta omega n is equal to 0. No s term here in the given transfer function. So 2 zeta omega n equal to 0, which means that zeta value is equal to 0. So what we need to find out? Settling time. Settling time is nothing but 4 divided by zeta into omega n. Here zeta into omega n value is 0. So 4 divided by 0, what we will get? Infinite. Anything divided by 0, infinite. So what is the settling time value? Infinity seconds is the correct option for this problem. Option C, infinity second. Then move on to the next problem. The characteristic equation for closed loop system is given as s cube plus 2s square plus 4s plus k equal to 0. The value of k for which the system becomes just stable is. How to find out the value of value of k in which the system becomes just stable. So by using Routh-Array table, we need to find out the stability Routh-Array or Routh-Hurwitz criterion. So s cube, write down s cube, s squared, s power 1, s power 0. Just write the coefficients of this odd number 1, 4, again 2k. Then how to find out the how to form the next rows? Just multiply 2 into 4, this and this, cross multiply 2 into 4 minus k into 1 divided by this term. See, 2 into 4 minus k into 1 divided by 2, this term. So what we will get? 8 minus k divided by 2. For this 8 minus k divided by 2. Here we don't have any other column to form this, so I put here as 0. So whenever 0 comes, we no need to cross multiply this, and it will drag our time when doing competitive exams. Just copy the above number k. So for this k only, now we cross verify whether this is true or not. How to find out this row? Just cross multiply these two term and these two term and divided by these terms. See, 8 minus k divided by 2 into k minus 0 into 2 divided by what? This term, 8 minus k by 2. So this term will get cancelled. 0 into 2, cancel these two, omit this term, cancelling these two term, what we will get? K alone. So this k alone we got. So no need to simplify further. Whenever 0 comes, just copy the above term here. So this is we have formed the Routh-Array table. For the system to be stable, just look into the first column of the Routh-Array. All the values should be positive. So all the values should be positive value. There should be no sign changes. If any sign changes means, so if in case if number of sign changes in the first column is 2, for example, which means that number of roots located in the right half of S plane is 2. If a number of sign changes is equal to the number of roots located on the right half of S plane. So number of roots in the right half of S plane means, which means that the system is unstable. There should be no poles or no roots should be in the right half of S plane. So the system is unstable. So what we conclude, there is no sign changes in the first column of the Routh array table. There should be no sign changes. So for that no sign changes, k should be a positive number. K should be greater than 0. For just table, k should be greater than 0. So if k is a positive number, 8 minus k by 2 equal to 0. For just table, this to go that side, 8 minus k equal to 0, which means this k equal to 8. For the system to be stable, k should be 8. K should be 8. So option D, 8 is the correct answer for this problem. We'll move on to the next problem. The open loop transfer function of a unity feedback control system is g of s equal to 1 divided by s into s plus 0.1 into s plus 1. The value of damping factor for which the resonant peak is equal to 1.4 is. We need to find out the value of damping factor is nothing but damping ratio or damping factor is zeta, for which resonant peak is equal to 1.4. So we'll see how to find out the, also open loop transfer function also given. We'll see how to find out the resonant peak damping factor value, for which given what is the resonant peak UR is given as 1.4. In general, what is the formula for resonant peak is nothing but 1 divided by 2 zeta into 1 minus zeta squared. So is equal to 1.4. So we need to find out the damping factor. By simplifying these, what we will get approximately zeta value is equal to 0.386. By simplifying these equal to 1.4 and find out the zeta value is approximately 0.386. Option A is the right option for this problem. We no need this term, this transfer function also. We no need. By this formula only, by this formula itself, we can find out the zeta value. Then move on to the next problem. The open loop transfer function of non-unity negative feedback system is g of s equal to ks divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2. Then the number of root locus branches equal to. We need to find out the number of root locus branches in the given transfer function. Number of root locus branches. How to find out the number of root locus branches? Generally, root locus branches starts at open loop poles and ends at open loop 0 or infinite, which means that if we have two poles, in general if we have two poles and 1 0 means it will start at root locus will start at open loop poles and ends at open loop zeros. If no 0 is, or it will end at infinite. If any open loop 0 is located, it will start from open loop poles and ends at open loop zeros. If there are no open loop zeros are existing, then it will end at open loop. It will end at infinity. So this is the basic construction or rules of root locus branches. We have many techniques. We have many rules for root locus branches and root locus and construction of root locus. This is one of the condition. Then if numerator term in the from the transfer function, numerator term denotes the location of zeros and denominator term denotes the location of poles. If p greater than 0, then number of root locus branches at infinity is nothing but p minus z. Number of poles minus number of zeros. What is here? Number of poles is 2. Number of zeros is nothing but 1. 3 minus 2. Number of poles nothing but 2. Number of zeros is 1. 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So number of root locus branches at infinite is equal to n is equal to 1. So we have many rules for construction of root locus. In our future videos we will see in detail. For this problem, n is equal to number of root locus branches equal to 1. Then move on to the next problem. What is given? A transfer function is given as g of s equal to s squared plus 9 into s plus 2. Some transfer function is given. The steady state sinusoidal response will become 0 at a frequency response of what is given? The steady state sinusoidal response will become 0 at a frequency response of, we need to find out the frequency response omega value where this response is equal to 0. So what is given? G of s equal to, given as s square plus 9 s plus 2 divided by s plus 4 into s plus 3 into s plus 9, where what is g of j omega? Because we need to substitute in place of s equal to j omega in that transfer function, because we need to find out the frequency value that at the steady state sinusoidal response will become 0. So which means that s squared is nothing but minus omega squared plus 9 s equal to j omega plus 2 divided by j omega plus 4 j omega plus 3 j omega plus 9 equal to 0 So this term cross multiplying, this term denominator term will become 0, equating numerator term equal to 0, minus omega squared 9 plus j omega plus 2 equal to 0. Either this term is equal to 0 or this term should equal to 0. See, minus omega squared minus equal to minus 9, sorry, plus 9 equal to 0. In case minus omega squared equal to minus 9, what is omega value? 3 radians per second. By equating this term equal to 0, what we will get? Omega value as negative, because j omega equal to minus 2, because minus 2, omega is equal to minus 2 by j. So some negative value we will get. Omega value should not be negative. So this term only we have to, this term should be equal to 0. So minus omega squared plus 9 should be equal to 0. By simplifying, what we will get? Omega equal to 3 radians per second. Option C, 3 radians per second is the right option. Then move on to the next problem. What is that? A second order control system has f of j omega equal to 100 divided by 100 minus omega square plus 10 root j omega. Find the resonant peak. What is given? F of j omega is equal to 100 divided by 100 minus omega square plus 10 root j omega. So we need to find out the resonant peak value. Resonant peak is nothing but, what is the formula? 1 divided by 2 zeta into 1 minus zeta square. This is the formula for finding out the resonant peak value. So by comparing this with standard second order transfer function, in case of f of s, what is that? Omega n divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n squared. In case of f of j omega, what is that? Substitute j omega, s equal to j omega, s squared is nothing but minus omega squared plus 2 zeta omega n j omega n plus omega n squared, c n squared. So this is the equation, standard equation in case of f of j omega. This is given in the format of f of j omega. So by equating and finding out the zeta value, how to find out the zeta value? What is omega n squared? S squared plus omega squared, 2 zeta omega n, omega n divided by substituting this is omega n, this is omega. S is equal to s square minus omega square plus 2 zeta omega n j omega. Omega in place of s, substitute j omega into omega n. So omega n squared in place of omega n squared 100. So 100, see, I am writing here omega n squared equal to 100 minus omega squared plus 2 zeta j omega is nothing but, see, what is that? Omega n squared equal to 100. What is omega n? 10 radians per second. We find out the omega n value. Then 2 zeta j omega, 2 zeta omega n into j omega. 2 zeta here, 2 zeta omega n is equal to 10 root 2. J omega term is nothing but 10 root 2. Substitute omega n value as 10 into 10 root 2. 10 get cancelled. So 2 zeta. So what is zeta value? Zeta value is equal to root 2 divided by 2 is equal to root 2 divided by root 2 into root 2. This and 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2. So this and this get cancelled. Zeta value as 1 by root 2. Zeta value as 1 by root 2. Guys, can understand how to compare with the second order transfer function, because this is the standard general transfer function. Here a transfer function is given as in j omega term. So we are substituting in place of s by j omega minus omega square plus 2 zeta omega n into j omega plus omega n squared. So omega n squared is 100. From that omega n value is 10 radians per second. Then 2 zeta omega n is nothing but 10 root 2. So equating the term, from that we have found zeta value as 1 by root 2. We need to find out the resonant peak. Resonant peak value is nothing but zeta value, we know the 2 into 1 by root 2 square root of 1 minus 1 by root 2 squared. So 1 by root 2 is nothing but root 2. 1 divided by cancelling we will get root 2. Square root of 1 by root 2 squared is nothing but 1 by 2 only. So 1 minus 1 by 2, 1 by 2. So square root of 1 by 2. See what is now? Mu r is equal to, in denominator term, root 2 into square root of 1 by root 2. We can take same root. Square root of 2 into 1 by 2 is nothing but square root of 1 only. So 1 by 1, square root of 1 is nothing but 1. 1 by 1 is nothing but 1 only. So resonant peak value is equal to 1. Resonant peak value is 1. By simplifying we will get resonant peak value as 1. So option C, 1 is the right option for this problem. We'll move on to the next problem. Find the bandwidth of the system when rise time of the system is given as 1 millisecond. We need to find out the bandwidth. What is given? Rise time of the system given. What is the relation between bandwidth and rise time? We will see. Rise time is nothing but T or rise time equal to 0.35 divided by bandwidth. So similarly we need to find out the bandwidth is equal to 0.35 by rise time. What is rise time given? 0.35 by 1 millisecond. 1 millisecond can be written as 10 power minus 3. So by taking these two numerated, what we will get? 0.35 into 10 cube. By simplifying, what we will get? 350 hertz, because it is rise time. Rise time is equal, bandwidth is equal to 350 hertz. 350 hertz is the option C, right option. We'll move on to the next problem. What is that? A second order underdamped system has a damping ratio of 0.3. Find the phase margin of the system. So what is the, let's see how to solve this problem. What is the formula for finding out the phase margin? Is nothing but 180 degree plus 5. This is the formula for finding out the phase margin. Then what is given? Damping ratio zeta is equal to 0.3. Then what is the, how to find out the phase margin? What is the relation between phase margin and zeta? Phase margin is equal to 100 into zeta. 100 into zeta is nothing but 100 into 0.3. 100 into 0.3, what we will get? 30. So phase margin is nothing but 30 degrees. Option C, 30 degrees is the right option for this problem. We'll move on to the next problem. If the magnitude of G of j omega into H of j omega at phase crossover frequency is 0.5. Find the gain margin of the given system. So, we'll see how to solve this problem. What is the formula for gain margin? Gain margin of the system is nothing but modulus of GH at omega equal to omega PC. 1 divided by modulus of GH at omega equal to omega PC is nothing but magnitude of G of j omega and H of j omega at phase crossover frequency. So, what is given? Magnitude of this value at omega equal to omega PC is given as 0.5. Given magnitude of GH at phase crossover frequency is 0.5. So, by substituting this formula, 1 by 0.5 is nothing but 2. So, gain margin of the system, given system is nothing but 2. Option B, 2 is the right option for this problem. Guys, we'll end up this session now. Please subscribe our channel Off Campus and click on the bell icon. You will receive notification as and when we upload videos. Thanks for watching.